Hello, good morning, and welcome to Celtic News at David67 YouTube channel. Updated news for Tuesday, the 8th of August. The transfer of Carl Starfelt from Celtic to Celta Vigo continues to progress. No definite confirmation of the deal having gone through or the transfer fee associated. However, the indications are that Starfelt and his agent have been over in Spain negotiating with Celta Vigo, and the transfer fee is thought to be around about €5 million, which would make this approximately the same as the fee Celtic paid Ruben Kazan 2 years ago when Starfelt first moved to Celtic. There are strong indications that Celtic have submitted a bid with Elfsborg in Sweden for their young defender Gustaf Lagerbielke, who is 23 years old, around 6'4" in height, and has recently broken into the Swedish international squad. He is, from my review on YouTube and on the internet, young, tall central defender, very good with the ball at his feet, very able to pass long and short. And from reviewing the footage on YouTube, he is very skilled at passing through defences, through midfield to wide players, and also cross-field passes, and so would very much fit into the Celtic framework and way of playing. He looks especially calm on the ball, good anticipation at intercepting passes, is at 6'4", obviously going to be a dominant figure in both penalty boxes, and has scored 2 goals this season for Elfsborg in his 15 appearances. He is predominantly right-footed, and so will more likely fit in on the right side of defence, which is currently Carmen Carter-Vickers' position. However, as Starfelt was also predominantly right-footed, he very successfully fitted in on the left. And so it would appear very much that Gustav Lagerbielke is a backup both for Navrocki and also for Carmen Carter-Vickers. And at 23 would appear to be a player both seen as a development prospect, with the potential for a significantly raised transfer fee a few years down the line, much the case as it is with Navrocki and with Carter-Vickers. Where this puts the young central defenders, Scales, Welsh, and Kobayashi, is less certain. This may well mean a move away from Celtic, most likely for Liam Scales, and Aberdeen are said to be very much interested in taking him back, following his very successful loan season at Aberdeen last season, with the view to a permanent transfer. Welsh has been linked on several occasions with Verona and some of the Italian league sides, but there has been no movement on that recently. With Kobayashi only having joined Celtic in the last winter transfer window, I would suspect that he is very much seen as a long-term prospect, and so would not be too unexpected to see Scales and or Welsh leaving the club over the next week or so. No further moves on transfers into the club other than Lagerbielke. However, review of a couple of the transfer sites does suggest that Celtic have made inquiries with regards transfer of Xavier Mubiyamba, who is currently playing in the Dutch leagues, and has been a player on Celtic's radar for the last several months. And as was mentioned in yesterday's video, is seen as being a young Virgil van Dijk. Going back to Lagerbielke, he comes from Elfsborg and so has links with Celtic in terms of previous very successful transfers of players from that club, such as Henrik Larsson, one of Celtic's greatest ever players, Mikael Lustig, and also Johan Mjällby. And so comes obviously with a very good potential pedigree and would likely fit into Celtic's team and squad very quickly. There are a couple of other transfer rumours and loan rumours bubbling under. Kieran Tierney's name has cropped up again as being linked to Celtic. It was stated that Mikel Arteta at Arsenal had very much promised Tierney a place in Arsenal's squad and team. But there are now rumours again of a return to Celtic on loan or transfer to Spain, such as Real Sociedad, but no confirmation of those as yet. An interesting name that has been linked to Celtic recently is Mikel Antonio, the West Ham forward, who is looking for a move away from West Ham. There are links to several European clubs and to Leeds United in the Championship, but Celtic has been put forward as a potential club that Mikel Antonio would be interested in. I personally would have some doubts regarding whether Antonio would fit in well into Celtic's team, and it is unclear from having watched him over the last few years at West Ham where his role and his skills would fit into Celtic's current tactics and way of playing. And so I would say it's rather unexpected if he was to come to Celtic. One other interesting theory that is also bubbling under is with the news that Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia, where Jota was transferred to a couple of weeks ago, there are contrasting rumours as to whether he is or isn't to be put up for loan. These initially did come out that Al Ittihad were looking to move Jota out on loan to create space for a marquee superstar signing attacker. No further news with regards to that. And the Espirito Santo, the manager at Al Ittihad, has quashed the rumours of his plan to send Jota out on loan, saying that he is at the moment still assessing his squad and recognises that moving to a new country, new culture, new club is quite a significant way of having to adapt and change, and so is giving Jota further time to settle down. However, it would be an obvious solution to replacing Jota by bringing Jota back in on loan. A couple of mentions also of potential loan moves from Man City to Celtic, with Doyle and McAtee, both of whom are young midfielders, having been listed as potential loan targets for Celtic, and 2 players that Man City are looking to send out on loan this season to increase their development. No mention of whether Taylor Harwood Bellis, their central defender, is also on the Celtic radar from the most recent updates. At this point in the week, Celtic players just getting back into their basic training. With regards their next fixture, which of course is in Aberdeen on Sunday. From last season, Aberdeen were the surprise package, coming through in the second part of the season when Barry Robson took over initially as caretaker and then as permanent manager. Aberdeen did not start the season well, drawing 0-0 with Livingston, but on paper would appear to be, along with Hearts, the 2 teams most likely to challenge Celtic and Rangers this season. And so over the next couple of days, I will be keeping an eye on whether the Lagerbielke transfer from Elfsborg to Celtic goes through, and whether the expected transfer of Karl Starfelt to Celta Vigo is rubber stamped and confirmed. Thank you for listening, and please do like and subscribe if you can, and make any comments, preferably polite and constructive, and any feedback in the comment section. And again, if there are any areas you wish me to look at or discuss, present, please again mention those in the comment section. So, potentially very positive day for Celtic. We quickly seem to have moved on, looking to replace Karl Starfelt with a younger, better option in Gustaf Lagerbielke. And if Celtic can get that transfer over the line and confirmed in the next few days, I can see him fitting in very well with Celtic over the next 2 or 3 years. So thank you very much for listening today, and goodbye, and speak to you again tomorrow.